So today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating new model for primary care that is seriously challenging the status quo. It's called Althera Alternative Care. And, well, it's built on a completely different philosophy of what medicine can and maybe should be.
You know, have you ever felt completely rushed at the doctor's office? Like you're just another number, another cog in a giant machine? This quote, it just gets right to the heart of a frustration so many of us feel. It perfectly sets the stage for a big problem in modern healthcare, and it promises there might be a different way.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down that assembly line problem. Then, we'll dig into Althera's proactive solution. Check out their pretty advanced toolkit, see how they blend that human touch with AI, and finally, look at the real-world results, the patient transformations. So what exactly is this healthcare assembly line? It's a system most of us know way too well, one that often seems to value speed over substance, volume over value. Let's break down what that really means for you, the patient.
Wow, okay, so when you put them side by side like this, the contrast it's pretty staggering. Traditional care often crams you into a 15-minute slot. Altera's model, they dedicate up to an hour. But here's the thing, it's not just about more time. It's a huge shift from a reactive approach that just focuses on treating disease, that's called pathogenesis, to a proactive one that's focused on creating health. That concept is called salutogenesis.
Okay, so how do you actually build a practice around being proactive? I mean, that sounds great, but how does it work? Well, it starts by redesigning the entire system, from the ground up, from the financial model to the absolute core philosophy of care.
The first really big piece of this puzzle is something called direct primary care, or DPC. Basically, by moving to a simple monthly membership model, the whole clinic just steps away from the headaches of insurance billing. This is the secret that unlocks those one-hour appointments. It allows for a real, genuine relationship to be built between you and your provider, because the focus is on your care, not on billing codes and claims.
And this right here, this is the philosophical heart of the whole thing. The entire question shifts from, so what's wrong with you, to what's possible for you. Salutogenesis is all about future-proofing your health. It's about finding out what your personal baseline for health is, and then building a plan to elevate it, to optimize for vitality, not just avoid getting sick. It's a total 180-degree mindset shift.
All right, so if you've got a new philosophy, you're going to need a new toolkit, right? So let's check out how Althera builds on its proactive model with therapies you probably won't find in your typical doctor's office.
And let me tell you, this is not your standard toolkit. This is a super comprehensive approach that includes, well, everything. We're talking revolutionary peptide blends, advanced regenerative therapies, and a full stack analysis of your lifestyle. Diet, exercise, sleep, the whole shebang. It's about using every single evidence-based tool they can get their hands on.
Okay, let's zoom in on just one of those tools, peptides. The easiest way to think of them is as tiny, natural messengers. They're these little chains of amino acids that your body is already using 24/7 to communicate between cells. They're literally the text messages that tell your body what to do, whether that's start a healing process or balance a hormone.
So what does that actually mean for you? Well, by using really specific peptides, clinicians can target specific goals. Things like speeding up injury recovery, improving your skin health, strengthening your immune system, or helping with weight management. It's all about leveraging your body's own communication system to get targeted, positive results.
Now, all this advanced technology is incredibly powerful, but let's be real, it's nothing without the human element. And this is where the Althera model gets really unique, blending this deep personal connection with the raw power of artificial intelligence.
This quote from the founder, Todd Lasane, it just says it all. The goal is to create real trust, real rapport, to have a conversation, not just a clinical examination. There's this idea that patients don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that human connection, that's the foundation that all the technology is built on.
So how does the tech fit in? Well, it starts with incredibly deep data collection. We're talking way beyond just taking your blood pressure. Then AI sifts through decades of medical research in just seconds to find the most relevant insights for you. But, and this is crucial, it doesn't replace the clinician's judgment. It supercharges it. It turns that best friend conversation into one that's also backed by the collective intelligence of modern medicine.
Okay, so we've talked about the DPC model, the proactive philosophy, the cutting-edge tools, and this human-AI combo. But what does it all add up to? What does this actually mean for patients? Let's look at the transformations.
I mean, listen to this. This is what it's all about, right? This quote isn't just about getting rid of a symptom. It's about a complete life transformation.
Because when your health is truly optimized, it has this amazing ripple effect on every other part of your life, your relationships, your work, your whole sense of who you are.
And these specific stories just make the impact so clear. You know, for one person, success was something as simple as being able to serve a tennis ball overhand again. For others, it was losing a life-changing amount of weight, like 60 or 80 pounds. The goal is always deeply personal. It's about restoring the ability for people to do the things that bring them joy and meaning.
And you might think, okay, those are just a few nice stories, but the numbers really back it up. A 4.9 out of 5-star rating, based on almost 150 Google reviews, that shows this isn't just a few cherry-picked examples. It's a consistent, reliable pattern of positive and often life-changing experiences.
Which brings us to our final thought. A model that prioritizes your time, that focuses on proactive wellness, that uses the most cutting-edge tools, and combines human empathy with AI-powered data. Could this blend of high-tech and high-touch be the blueprint for the future of primary care? It's a pretty compelling question to think about.